right. We are live. Now I just got to see if anybody jumps on here with a ring in my head. Mine lags a little bit, so sometimes it says 0, but then all of a sudden it'll just pop up a bunch of people. Usually I get on another computer and check it out too, and I didn't.
Is this just like live on YouTube then?
Yes. No, yeah, this is live on YouTube. They can still hear you right now. They just can't see you.
Well, good. That's fine.
Oh, there's comments. Let me see. Oh, there's people on. I just don't see them. Tree Dog Nation's on. Just not showing me that someone's on. I don't care. We'll just keep going. All right. Our free casting live tonight. And we got a special guest tonight. Almost had to beg her to come on, and she tried to get out of it, but I didn't let her. So tonight we're going to talk about probably just the hardships of being a hound hunter. Areas we hunt, people we hunt around. Right now, what is it? I'm putting you on. You're going on. We're bringing Elizabeth on now. And there she is. My favorite person in the whole world.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see the comments on yours? There's a little comment thing up to the top right. If you push it, it should show the comments.
Oh, okay.
You got it? That way you can see what everybody's talking about.
Oh, I can't see it at the same time though.
Really? It should just, oh, you got your phone. Oh, turn your phone sideways, or can you? It should flip or turn off, or I'm just hoping my power don't go off tonight. Big storm. Now, can you see it? You moved it and you're glitching now. Can you hear us?
I can't see this sometimes. You just have to read them too. You just have to read or something.
There we go. I think we're gonna get you back. If it's vertical, you get better reception than horizontal, I guess.
Oh, should I turn it back? Wait, let me put that. Now it's upside down.
I'll just it'll flip back over.
All right, anyways.
Yeah. Usually I just post the comments anyways.
I can see better.
Yeah, it gets a bigger screen. All righty. We got Elizabeth. Okay, how do you say your last name now? It's not Bolin no more. It's
it's Washoe.
Washoe? Washoe or Washoe?
Washoe.
All right. I didn't want to mess it up. You had to move states and then start a whole new name and everything. Keep the felonies away.
Oh yeah. I start all kinds of rumors now. It's gonna make me way more interesting than I actually am.
Different name, different state, different life.
People are going to be asking me. People are going to be asking me now. What's the deal with that?
Start asking you everything. I never say last name. I always just talk about Elizabeth and how we hunted together and got stories. So I don't think your internet's doing good over
everybody's going to ask me what. Well, I live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I had to get Starlink.
Can you see?
Elizabeth is the only hound hunter I know that dogs clutch. Digs clutch. Oh, we lost her. She has real bad internet. It was hard enough to get her on here. So what I want to talk about tonight is the hardships of hound hunting. If we can get her back. I think every hound hunter lives in a spot that don't have much service. That's the problem. I had to get Starlink, and up here lately where I'm at, Starlink is been crappy. So here she's coming back. Coming back.
I can't have my phone the other way, I guess. Apparently.
It's weird that you only get signal when it's vertical.
It's not really weird for her. I mean, I never really know why it doesn't work or works or doesn't.
Well, every time you turn it sideways, you lose service. But all right, we got Elizabeth back. So he said the Diggs clutch. Elizabeth is the only hound hunter I know that digs clutch. That's what he said.
The band.
Oh, the clutch, the band.
Yeah, the lip clutch.
So, Elizabeth, how's it going?
Oh, it's good now that you told everybody I have felonies.
Oh, do you have felonies? I was just making that up.
Everybody's going to ask me that now.
Oh, yeah, they are. Well, I'm not going to tell them about your new husband either.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I'll start that rumor now.
Yeah.
Elizabeth hunted here, and she lived here in Arizona for a while. We did a lot of bear hunting together. So, but tonight what I want to talk about is just the hardships of hound hunting, the struggles, puppies, manners, hunting with other people that have dumb dogs. Elizabeth should know because she hunted with me for a few years, so I had to deal with my dogs. But her dogs taught my dogs a lot of stuff.
Man, I just don't want to talk to other people. They just don't.
Yeah,
I just do my thing and do my own. I just do my own thing anymore.
Yeah, but shoot, you got great dogs. Your dogs have better manners than any dogs I've ever seen in my life. So, love her dogs. I wish my dogs had manners like that. So, Elizabeth.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen them be bad. So, man, we could tell stories of catching bears all night, probably.
Yeah.
So, but now you're just running raccoon over there, huh?
Well, in California you can run just about anything except for bears, lions, bobcats, bighorn sheep, and elk. Other than that, you're pretty good to go. So
they run deer with dogs over there, don't they?
Yeah,
they run.
Yeah, this is the only state in the West you can run deer with dogs.
Oh,
and
yeah. Huh. My dogs run deer sometimes. They ran antelope today. I caught a couple of my young ones running some antelope, and then I gave them the love button a little bit and got them back to the truck. And those antelope turned and came back and ran 20 feet from my truck. And my dog jumped off my truck and tried to chase them again. So I had to give her the love button again. So hopefully she won't chase them no more.
I wanted to make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah, I guess I guess I didn't give them enough love the first time around. So let's just get it over with. The woman, being a woman hunter, you get a lot of slack.
Not too much over the years. I guess there's been a few people that have been super weirded out by it. But there's more people that are just like, I've never really seen a woman that had hounds before. But like in California, there's a lot of women that have hounds. I seemed to hear that more when I was living in Utah and Arizona. But I don't know. I haven't really noticed this too.
Yeah, I think.
Of course, I've never been a man, so I don't really know what a man's experience is of a houndsman. So.
Yeah, I think men question it a little bit, but until they hunt with you, and once they get hunting with you, then they realize you know what you're doing. So.
Yeah, probably so.
At least pretend to know what you're doing really well. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
So are you going out of California to hunt bears and lions and stuff now?
Yeah, to hunt bobcat and lion. Yeah, because I don't live. I don't live very far from both the Oregon border and the Nevada border, so it doesn't take me very long to go to either one. So
you can run bobcat in Oregon, right?
yeah,
And then
you can
everything in
fox in Oregon and coons,
yeah,
and in Nevada you can run everything. The bear hunt is limited though. You have to be with somebody that has a tag, and
gotcha.
there's only a limited amount of tags. So
And
that's what I'm gonna.
I wish in Arizona they would do like they did the lion, to where when the quotas met, they'd let you pursue as well. I don't know why
Well,
they don't let you pursue
they don't have any respect for it as much as they should. I think. I don't know.
the actual game and fish, or people who are supposed to be making the decisions.
Maybe so. Maybe it's more that they don't hear from enough people. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure. Maybe I shouldn't even say that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe somebody just needs to push the issue more and make it, but we need to bring it in a valid way, you know.
Yeah, not wait to play offense or defense.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe play some more offense. I don't know. They whittle away and they whittle away. I think they're going to come after Arizona here in 24. I think so. I heard a little birdie whisper, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, that's all those people do is just.
Yeah.
I was gonna. I'm not gonna say that.
It's hard for Elizabeth to not say what she wants and then not drop some cuss
No, it's hard.
words.
Yeah, I try to. Somebody's always gonna get offended.
Oh, everybody get offended. We don't care here.
Yeah.
They get offended, they can go to another channel, I guess.
Yeah. No.
So what kind of?
I'm gonna call them a bunch of rich old white ladies, but I didn't know if that might make somebody mad. So.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get some emails. All right, probably from the rich old white ladies.
I'm talking about the animal rights people because that's what it is. It's a bunch of like yoga pants wearing ladies hanging out at the freaking what's that? What's that restaurant?
Starbucks.
No, Panera Bread. Ladies hanging out at Panera Bread, whether that are bored and have nothing better to do with their lives. They continue on with their colonization that they call animal rights these days.
Oh yeah.
Because it is, it's the entire animal rights movement is nothing but, as far as I'm concerned, it's a continuation of the whole entire manifest destiny colonization of this. Only nowadays they're not missionaries, they're animal rights activists.
Oh, that's a fact too.
Huh.
So how is California for you guys? You guys get to hunt when you're deer hunters during deer season?
During the archery season now, which I'd never understood because it's not open at night, but whatever, maybe one of these days I'll change. But during the deer season, it's 1 dog per hunter. But our deer seasons are not as long as a lot of other states; they're pretty short. So.
Yeah, they in Arizona.
Here as there are in a lot of the other western states.
Yeah, they actually moved the archery deer season. I think it's 3 weeks. The archery bear season was 3 weeks, along with the deer season. The good thing about where I'm at is they have a quota now on the archery deer. So now I just started a fight with all the archery deer guys. So it kind of took us hound guys out of the spotlight for a second, because they know it's going to close in a week, so they just go out and whack, 2-point, 1-point, spike, 3-point, whatever. So now you got everybody whining about killing the small deer and shutting the unit down early. I hunt 3B and 1, and it's shut down right now. So I kind of, for a hound guy, I got the unit to myself now. I don't have to worry about the deer hunters. But they did do a 3-week archery bear hunt. And I think it's usually 2 weeks. That's kind of nice. And then when they shut it down for deer, then the hound hunters get to jump in and not have to worry about the deer hunters whining. So, and they will, because our dogs run all the deer out of the country.
Yeah, that's what they like to think. But
So
scientific studies have said otherwise, but you can't convince somebody if they don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it.
that's a fact. They believe what they want to believe, and they feel what they want to feel. But I like it. I didn't mind it. I've been out this last week, and it's just been dead out there. I haven't even seen another hound hunter, to be honest. So very nice. And then so you said you're about to head to Nevada, huh? Nevada.
Nevada. Did you just
Yes,
say
I say Nevada. My son yelled at me for saying Nevada. Made fun of me for saying Nevada. I said that's what I've always called it, Nevada. Nevada.
Anyways, yeah, I'm heading to Nevada for the bear hunt. I have some of my friends' dogs to take over there to hunt since I don't run bear with my dogs anymore. So.
Oh, you quit running bear?
Yeah, I did.
Boring.
I've been bear since I moved back.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can't really run them there, so why run them?
You can't, and they're just. If I moved somewhere where I could again, I probably would, but it's just, I don't know. That's got other stuff. If you go to Oregon, you can't run them there either. So I just assumed just not deal with it. I sold some of my dogs that were more bear dogs and stuff. So, or that were harder to break off of them.
So what's the deal with the so if you're out coon hunting and you tree a bear, is it just a pull your dog off kind of deal?
Yeah, just the same as treeing any off game. You just get them off the tree as soon as possible. You're not supposed to hang out or redo it on purpose or any of that kind of stuff, obviously. So.
Well, nobody does it on purpose.
It's a pain. If your dogs do, it's a pain because California has the highest bear population in the lower 48 states, so they're just a pain. They're a pain. So I just try to avoid it altogether.
Yeah.
Just they're everywhere and they're a pain. I used to love bear hunting. I love eating bear meat. I love bear grease. Bears are like the most useful little animal. Like if you're gonna go and kill one thing a year, like a bear would be the best thing to kill because there's a lot of meat, there's a lot of grease, there's a nice hide, but and I refuse to give the state money for a bear tag anymore. So I won't even buy a bear tag to just go out. I could probably go out and kill one if I, but because I like bear meat, but I'm not going to give them money for a tag. So I just refuse to give them money for a tag. So I don't.
Do you think California will ever go back to running dogs at all?
I don't know.
On bear and lion or?
I don't know.
I feel like one day they will. They just got to get rid of all them.
If people ever get back to realizing that we're actually a part of this ecosystem, a part of this natural world, and that we're not like some weird aliens that got dropped off the spaceship, like I don't really understand how people think that, but I think if we ever get back to the point where people know that we have a valid existence on this, as part of this planet, in our interactions with other animals as a predator are just as valid as the interactions of other predators. If we ever get back to that, then and of course for me there's an entire different, there's a whole spiritual realm to hunting also, into our interconnection with animals and killing them. So I think if we continue, I feel like people are kind of like starting to, like, I'll see little glimmers of hope of people, like they're kind of like starting to understand that. So I don't know, maybe one of these days we ever somehow get back to that. But then I think that, and then I realize there's all these people that just would be perfectly fine living in like an entirely virtual world, and never leave their house either. So
well, that's why YouTube, and that's why TikTok, and that's why all these platforms are so. That's why people make money on them. Even mine. I doubt I have too many houndsmen that religiously watch it. They watch it, but most of the people who watch mine, I'm just riding around on a mule chasing dogs.
Yeah.
And that's just people who can't get out or don't think they could ever do that. It's kind of crazy, but
Well,
that's
you're charismatic also, so that's why people watch you.
yell at my kids a lot.
Yeah.
They put Ariel on, and she never wants to be on camera. She wants to be on camera about as bad as you do.
Either, but here I am on the
I
camera.
know. You know what? You know what she said? I said I need to get Elizabeth on. She said, "No way. You will not get Elizabeth on." I said she'll
Well,
come on. She'll come on. No, you won't.
she's got to get on here now. So
I'm gonna get her. Well, she's on all my YouTube, and I'm always making fun of her. So,
yeah.
and then everybody gets mad at me for making fun of her. So she's like a bigger star than anybody because poor little Ariel, mean, she's mean to me, anyways. So, well, go over what is I want to talk about like the struggles, but what do you think is one of the biggest struggles of owning hounds? Probably besides society. That's the worst part of it.
Besides society, besides people like having bigoted opinions about literally everything about your life if you have hounds. Yeah. Besides
Oh,
that,
yeah.
because it is. Yeah, it is bigotry. That is it actually meets the definition of being a bigot if you dislike someone just because they have hounds. Like, or you assume that what they are because they have hounds. So, like, obviously, I don't necessarily fit into what most of these Panera uh, ladies would expect to be a hound person.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a lot of people out there that they don't expect it, but they just don't. You just don't hear from a lot of people. Um, I'm rambling. I don't know where I was going with that. Um, yeah. Besides, like, yeah, people just assuming, yeah, things. Besides that, I don't know. Uh,
I bumped in to I ran into a guy. I was on the side of the road, parked, and he pulled up and rolled his window down, and they were just going to um, walk Lake Mountain where we hunt over there. They were just going to hike it, and they said, "Are you gonna hunt this?" I said, "Oh, I'm just rigging around, but I don't. It's kind of late. I don't think we're gonna get nothing." And I said, but he kind of got into how hound hunting wasn't exactly, um, what do they call it? Like fair chase and this and that. So yeah, I had a thir-
yeah, I
I had
could
a
go.
30-minute conversation with the guy, and by the time he's done, he's like, "Man, I didn't know all that." And I said, "Yeah, it's not like all your platforms make it out to be." And I had two guys. I had another guy Sunday when we caught that bear say he followed us into the tree. I said, "Hey, come, my dogs are treed right now if you want to come in." I said, "You might even be able to shoot it if it's a big one. I won't let you shoot a little one or a female probably, but if it's a good sized bear, we'll rather burn your tag." I said, "Unless it's like a 400 pounder, then you have to fight us." So he came in, he walked in and seen that little bear, and he was just a whole different aspect of hound hunting. Everybody thinks it's just, hellhounds and
Yeah,
beer bellied rednecks running out there with machetes in their underwear trying to kill a bear, you know. But
yeah,
I said, I don't even have my bow. Like, I haven't killed a bear since 2010. And I've caught a lot of bear over here. So,
yeah.
but,
Yeah, I have people stop me and talk to me, or talk to me at the gas station or at the store, or, something. So there's always an opportunity to have a good conversation with someone. Um, so I think a lot of times it's because they'll talk to me, maybe because they didn't really expect that's who was driving the truck, and so man, they'll be like, huh, and then they'll talk to me. So I don't, yeah. But yeah, I enjoy having those kind of little short conversations with people. And it's, yeah,
they
I
don't
like it.
understand. They don't
Yeah,
understand because they just read it on the internet.
yeah. It's kind
Yeah.
of something that I was keeping in the back of my mind, like when I'm driving around. When you're driving around in your truck with all these dogs in there, you're representing houndsmen to the general public, most of which might not, they don't know anything about you. So let's try to keep that in as much as I like to get irritated at other people driving on the road. I try to be try to be a good steward of what I'm representing, both as a native person and as a hounds person every time I'm out and about. So yeah.
Is there? I don't know. I'll get into that a little bit. You being native. Is there a lot of native hounds hunters?
I mean,
I know there's a few res hounds and that Calvin guy, but
in California too. It's just I mean, most people that have hounds, you'll probably never even know that they exist, unless they go to field trials or they're on Facebook or something. So, yeah, I know. I know quite a few Indians, natives here that have hounds. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of people don't understand too is they've had hounds way before any of us had hounds. There's
We've
thousands
been hunting with dogs on this continent for as long as we've been here, since time immemorial. We've been hunting with dogs on this continent. My tribes, hunted deer and bear and everything else with dogs. So it's not like it's some new thing that just fell out of the spaceship along with the rest of the humans. Been here forever.
Mm-hmm. Something that inhumane people made their dogs do. I think that's the biggest struggle, is trying to make these people understand that these dogs that are sitting on your couch aren't happy. They're happy to see you because that's the only interaction they have. But any dog, you take those big fat dogs on the couches and take them out and just let them run in the woods. Why do they run off? They don't just stay by you. They'll run off. We have to train our dogs to actually come back. So they don't. Their dogs get off the couch and they run off.
So. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sometimes it just freezes up, but we can still hear you.
That last cell service. But.
So, that's what a dog wants to do, is go. They're not meant to stay there and stay put on the couch. So, can you hear us? The last guy had on. Good internet. I like how we pay millions of dollars a year for internet and phones, and we can barely get them to work. We can't see or hear you now, Elizabeth. The only time I have good internet, nobody else does. Oh, we lost her. I like Elizabeth because she's really down to earth, really intelligent about her dogs, how she trains her dogs, where she runs her dogs. I know it's tough for her to move back to California because they don't get to run bears and lions over there. So she has to travel out of state to run it. And what I was going to get into next was, besides society hating people who run dogs because they're mistreated, is other hunters. That's a big deal too. Other hunters is a big problem. Every time I see a Game and Fish put out something that says what's unfair hunting, first things people say are dogs, is what they say. So, and that kind of always puts a damper on things in life. But I've been into a couple arguments on the internet where people did blame dogs, and then I went after, hunting bulls during rutting season. Get Elizabeth back on here. There, she's back. Oh yeah, good old. Let's pay a lot of money for internet and phone and have it never work usually. What I was talking about now is not only society but other hunters that are kind of a nuisance to, every time I see something on the Game and Fish or somebody posts what is unfair chase, the first answer I usually see are dogs. the other day, someone said dogs, and I got on there and said, "Well, I'll give up my dogs if you give up your, your 400 feet a second bow and your rut season." I don't think if dogs are unfair chase, and how is shooting somebody calling it in to get to for breeding fair? How is shooting a bedded buck at 1,000 yards fair? Let's get rid of your scopes and dogs are primitive, so let's go back to primitive.
I mean, why don't we go back to driving animals off a cliff?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why don't we go back to wounding them and following them until we can finally finish them off? Because that was how
Could
it
you
used to be
imagine?
back way back in the day. That's how we killed
Mm-hmm.
animals. You'd wound them, follow them, they'd follow them, or they'd drive them off the cliff. So
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know how far back. I mean, dogs are one of the most primitive methods of hunting that there is. So I feel like there's like this hypocrisy about saying what's fair chase, and then like they want to go back to fair chase. The idea is to make it harder or more primitive, but dogs are the most primitive method that there is, aside from you know poison arrows and following an animal until you could finish it off, or driving them off of the cliff.
Yep.
Or not only that, but the whole idea of fair chase, so like that was something that Teddy Roosevelt coined, and he coined that um, in his when he was creating the Boone and Crockett Club. And both Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett, I mean, all three of those people had hounds, and they considered hounds to be fair chase. So, like when somebody says it's not fair chase, like that entire sentence is not. It's an entire nonsense sentence, because like literally what the very thing that they're saying was coined for a club that considered these dogs to be fair chase. So they're just basically talking out their ass, but that's
Yeah,
my opinion.
they
But
love
like
putting their
I try
numbers
to
in that
tell
book.
people that nicely.
They love
That's
putting their numbers in that book, don't they?
yeah. You're like really low volume now. I don't know if it's my phone or you.
Is it? I don't know. No one's complained about it yet.
No, but I mean, for me, this whole idea of hunting being sporting and what's fair chase and not fair chase and not like that doesn't even mean anything to me. That's not even the way. That's not a way that I even think about hunting. To me, hunting is it's a spiritual thing, and it's a way of life. It's a part of life. You don't exist without killing on this planet, and it's a part of it's your part of being part of this creation. And I don't think it's a sport at all, and I think it's an inherent human right. So the whole every time somebody gets off on the whole entire thing of sporting and unsporting, I can't even hardly follow that conversation, just because it's just so wildly different from what I believe. So
Yeah. Well, the whole sport thing, and they like to use that sport, and they like to use trophy.
yeah,
Trophy is one of their
yeah,
favorite words.
yeah, it is trophy. I mean, people have been immortalizing hunts since the dawn of humanity. I mean, how old are the cave paintings in Africa and in
Oh,
France? So, I mean,
thousands of years.
yeah. So I mean,
So,
in here also, without going into the whole argument of how long have natives been on this continent, because we think we've been here since forever. But there's also there's artwork here depicting hunts. So people have been doing that forever. Keeping a trophy or taking a selfie, or it's all the same thing. It's no different than when people used to draw on the cave.
well, that's what it is. That's what a selfie was back then. You're drawing on the cave, what you hunted with. They had their bows, they had their dogs, they had what they hunted, you know, where they hunted. So it's not no different from the day, just a different form.
Yeah.
But hunters are hunters' worst enemy. When they did the whole trail camera ban, it was. I know some people in Game and Fish, and one of them said it was over 50% were hunters were against it. You know, so it wasn't just your animal activists or people calling in
I don't think the animal
saying,
rights people had anything to do with the trail camera ban at
mm-mm.
all. I don't think they did. I think that was purely all hunters that did that to themselves, in
That
my
was
opinion.
jealous Joey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they did it to themselves. They're it's that's kind of happening all across the West because I I see the same thing happening here. I see people arguing and fighting on the internet over trail camera pictures, or they'll post a picture of somebody that walked past their trail camera and they'll be like, "Who's this guy?" And it's like, your camera's on public land, like,
Yeah,
I
at a pond that's accessible.
mean, yeah, it's like, who is this? Well, it's probably none of your business who it is. It's just some guy out living his life, experiencing nature and his own, like, you don't own it. I don't own it. Nobody owns it. We're supposed to be out there using it, but like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they do it. They're doing it. Starting to do that here, fighting over all that kind of stuff.
Well, which means that
Sure,
sooner or
eventually the
later,
same thing will happen here.
yeah, you guys can still run cameras, but that'll probably come to an end.
Well, if they keep going down this road of fighting with each other about it, it will. So,
Well, when you pull up to a pond and there's literally 20 cameras on it, then you're probably at the wrong pond. That means there's other people that know about that pond, and it's accessible. And if it's accessible, someone's going to find it. So, and if you have a pond that's 10 miles out in the middle of nowhere and there's 20 cameras on it, there's 20 guys that are going to hunt that pond.
I always wondered if everybody showed up at the same time in the morning, how they decided who was going to
Oh, there's big fights on there. That's why people get there at 2 a.m. and they
I always
go
wanted
sit
to
in
put
their
my own
blind.
camera back so I could watch the action, what went on. Everybody showed up at the same point.
Put one of them those Verizon cameras up so you can watch the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's that many cameras there, then it's probably not a best spot. I would just pull a camera,
Yeah.
But they don't. They fight over it. They call the game warden because someone destroyed their camera, or But you're leaving your property out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a gray area too with the cameras, as far as leaving them on public land. If there's a certain amount of days, if you leave something out, that it's considered to be abandoned property, and so like everybody's nice about it, and like the public land management agencies don't really ever say anything. But then when it becomes an issue because somebody starts complaining because somebody smashed their camera that they've left out for 3 months on the public land, then it becomes a headache for those people, and that's when they're like, okay.
Well, how many people have left their cameras out and just haven't checked them for 3 months?
Lots of people.
It's like the game warden probably should just go take a green sticker and put them on all the cameras, and then next month put a red sticker on it, and see how long they're there.
Yeah.
But I think the solution.
This doesn't really matter unless everybody's going to start fighting or wanting to worry about who else they see on their camera doing whatever they see them doing on their camera. Like unless people just need to leave everybody alone and mind their own damn business.
Mind their own business.
I don't know.
That is hard for people. There's people on the internet.
It's impossible for people to just live their life and leave everybody else alone. It's like, I think it's physically impossible for most people to do that.
Well, I don't even get on that Hunt Arizona no more on Facebook, because there's that handful of people, one individual, I'm sure everybody knows who I'm talking about, that has to make a remark about everybody. If you use Walmart camo, he makes a remark about it. If you shoot something too small, makes a remark about it. It's like, who cares?
People don't have any peace within themselves, so they just worry about what everybody else is doing.
I got guides in Unit 1 shooting sows like crazy, shutting it down. But it's legal. That's their choice. They want to shut it down, and obviously they got to shoot whatever they could catch, because maybe they can't catch anything more. Spotting stalkers, they don't know what they're shooting half the time. A deer hunter sitting there in a blind, I don't blame him when a bear runs by. I seen a picture of a bear online. This kid shot. I swear that thing had to be 60 pounds. But to him, it looked like it was 300 pounds when he's sitting in a blind. And a little bear walks by. He don't see size. He don't look at the ears or nothing. He just sees a bear and shoots it. You know,
Yeah.
but it's legal, and that's his only chance to shoot a bear. Hound people are kind of lucky because we get to. I treated that little bear Sunday, and it was little, but I'll just go treat another one. Try to anyways. So we do have a little bit of advantage, but we also get to check if they're female, if they're big, if they're small, if something's wrong, if they're old. You could tell all that.
Yeah.
So, like you said, people need to mind their own business.
I mean, obviously, if somebody's doing something that's like, of course, ethics are subjective. Everybody's got different ethics. But if somebody's doing something that's like obviously morally, ethically objectionable, and I think deep inside we probably all know what the parameters are for that kind of stuff, then obviously it's okay to say something. But I think for the most part, most people are just far too worried about controlling what everybody else is doing.
Oh yeah. Yep. Instead of worrying about them, they worry about everybody else. It's easier to worry about everybody else until you worry about them. And once you worry about them, all of a sudden they care about minding your own business.
Yeah.
Just like we didn't kill many females. I think the first female we killed was for the lady in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't want to.
It's okay to kill some females, So.
Well, heck, the one year we treated like
the majority.
Well, we treat nothing but females that one year. It's like female after female, and then then Cody Lynn end of the season. Like, dang, there's just a lot of females. So Cody Lynn got to kill a female.
Yeah.
I killed another female not too long after that in November with, my son-in-law. So, and I turned down a female. We turned down a female the week before. I didn't want to shut the unit down, and then the next week it just couldn't catch a male. There's a bunch of females. And I don't know how detrimental it is that an area is full of just females. Maybe one male would be happy, but.
Well, they don't breed that time of the year anyways, so.
Yeah.
They breed in the summer.
Yep. But.
Sorry. I feel like maybe I got us sidetracked by my.
No, that's why it's called free casting.
No.
We just go all over the place.
Babbling.
Babbler. Pup. Oh, you can go all day long with the fair chase and the hunters against hunters. It's really kind of sad too. It's just, then you get into the whole different breed of people, and that's the outfitters, the guides. And that, I think the only thing that kind of upsets me a little bit, it irritates me, is when you get somebody from another state coming over, and I don't care if they hunt here, they got to pay, it's legal, but they come over here with 20 guys and they just start whacking everything. There was a guy in one unit a couple years ago.
That happens everywhere, because it used to happen here too. I mean, everybody and their brother would come here and do that. So I think, I don't know, it just happens. Of course, it's a little bit different because of the way that the seasons are structured can kind of screw it up for everybody else if you close it early. But yeah.
Well, I said, and if I could pursue, I wouldn't mind, but I'm not a big guide. I got a guide license, but I take a couple people a year, and that's it. And that's only to keep the wardens off me.
That's one of those things where I can start to get. Like I can get all in my feels about that kind of stuff, and then start to get kind of irritated, and then like I just kind of have to remind myself, well, I guess I can't really control what they do. I don't really have any right to tell them what to do. Like, do I wish that they would have a more, I don't know.
Well, they're trying to make money.
Ethical idea of the way that they do their killing, yes, but like I can't force that. I can't tell them that they have to believe the way that I do. So I just try
they bounce around too.
I mean, but there is sometimes when you can talk to people and be like, hey, you know, in like in a good way, and sometimes it can be productive, but yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it takes all kinds of people, I suppose. So, and
Well, I
sometimes
mean,
people often act different when they're hunting somewhere that they don't actually live. That's been my observation. They can act way different when they're hunting somewhere else than they do when they're hunting in their own backyard.
well, they do. They go to another backyard and tear up all the
Yeah,
grass, and then when someone comes to their backyard and does it, then it's a big deal.
yeah.
So, but I don't hunt out of state. I just stay in my own little tiny unit, and I hunt here and bleed over in a couple other units every once in a while. And,
Yeah, I
I
like
don't.
seeing different places.
There's a couple guys. Yeah, there's a couple guys that just hit a couple of these units, and they burn out over there in Young, Arizona. They'll go over there, and I had my cousin had a friend that said there was a guy that treed a bear, and he told the kid to come shoot it. And it was a female. He didn't care. He's from California over there. So one was from California, and the guy hunting with him was from Utah. Not all
Yeah.
you Californians are bad, Elizabeth.
I don't even recognize this state, okay? This is an arbitrary idea. This state of California is completely arbitrary. Just
Well,
nothing. It's absolutely meaningless.
you say California.
Other than I'm stuck in it. So
Yeah, people look behind you and they don't look like California. People think of LA, San Diego, California, and that's all they think about, the beach.
yeah.
They don't know that North California is gorgeous,
Yeah.
and for them to cut bear out is just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So
No, but yeah, there's so many bears here, but yeah, and they tried to actually do a complete ban. They've tried twice now to introduce legislation to enact a complete ban on the bear hunt, like they did the bobcat and lion hunt here. But so far they failed, and it's been nice kind of watching that happen because I've seen a lot more. I mean, I don't know where they were back when SB 1221 was going on, but maybe people have been learning since then and changing their mind about some things. But it's nice seeing all kinds of different people being represented now during those the hearings for those bills, and seeing people that are just finally realizing that hunting is not wrong. That it's it's just a part of life, and you can choose not to do it, but it doesn't mean you really have a right to tell anybody else that they can't. So,
yeah. Well, I think the killer of that is social media, and I tell people there was a Facebook post where they had killed a bear, and it came out, hit a couple branches, bounced, and then they went up and shot it and left it on. They posted that, and I got on there and said, man, that's like, you didn't have to put that. Well, the kid was I don't know, autistic. I don't know. There was a handicap on the kid, and I said, well, it still don't matter. Like, and then I had a guy actually message me and say, well,
hey, can you pause me or turn me off for a minute? I gotta go out here and see what these dogs are doing.
yeah, me. She'll be back. So, I had a post, and it's just a bad post. And I told these people that it's easier to make a non-hunter an anti-hunter than it is to make a non-hunter a hunter. So when someone sees a graphic post like that, it's easier for them to hate the guy doing it. I think they use dogs. So I got in a little argument about it, but I think, and then when you do say something about uh, hound hunting to people, it just, or putting stuff on the internet, they first thing they do is First Amendment, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's First Amendment. You do whatever you want, but it always come back to you. It's your right to call somebody racial slur. It's your right to, state your opinion, but in the end, it's going to come back on you. It's going to come back on you. You're right. I've been crucified for suggesting we be better dogmen. And the best dogman you can be is not post on the internet, or be real careful. I don't post on the internet. I remember before I got into YouTube, I had a YouTube, and I had posted a kill of a bear, and it was really bad. I didn't realize it was bad because I just like, oh, it's bear hunting, but it was really bad. Worst one I've ever seen. So I didn't have no views on it, and I just deleted it from. It was an old YouTube account, anyways. But in the end, what you put on the internet stays on the internet, and those people who don't like hunting. Oh, she's back. Let me get her back here. You take care of business.
Yeah, I had to bring. Well, I borrowed those dogs to take out on the bear hunt, or borrowed, or took them to exercise, whatever you want to call it. Now I've got a bunch of males here. I've got females in the heat, and I'm remembering all the reason I got rid of all my males, and I just.
So you're just running females now?
Well, no, I got that little mixed up running dog puppy male now. I don't know why I got another male, but yeah,
cut
that's
them.
the only one I have right now.
Yeah, I had Vaca. I bred her with Scooter or Juice, and she had 7 females, not one male. 7 females. So, anyways, back to social media. I was just saying that that guy had posted something, and it was pretty bad, and he said he got on to me. I got a message saying, "Well, you you posted a picture of chasing a cub." I said, "Well, the thing was like 80 pounds. It was off his mom." But to me, it's a cub. Anything under 100 pounds in my book's a cub. I'm not going to shoot a small bear, There's old Brett. There's Brett.
Yeah,
He says he loves your hat.
I was having a bad hair day, so it was a hat day all day today. I was going to answer. There was a guy that had just made a comment about like the bears and lions being killed here, and yeah, that is a fact. Yeah, they still they still do issue depredation permits here, as they should, because there are problems that the only way you can deal with them is through lethal measures. But yeah, that's a thing, and with the lions, when they kill them, now, of course, they've been trying to pass laws where they can't even kill them anymore, but it's never going to entirely happen that way, because there's always going to be lions that they're going to have to kill, and bears too. But with the lions, like, they can't even do anything with them. Sometimes they can give them to for a museum or something or another. Yeah. But most of the lions, what happens with them is they get killed, and then they go to the freezer, and they do a necropsy on them. And then once that's done, they get thrown away. They go in the trash, or they go, or basically the landfill, or they go in the incinerator. So it's just, I think it's disgusting. It's like a
waste.
Really disrespectful. So yeah.
There's a lot of
that is directly on the shoulders of the Mountain Lion Foundation and all the people that passed that. That's how they wanted that law written, so that disrespect is completely, entirely on their hands.
And they still kill a lot of lions in California. Government hunters, right?
Yeah, off and on. Nowadays,
and there's
it just depends on where it's happening at and what it's like locally, but yeah, for the most part, they're not killing as many just because they're not wanting to issue depredation permits as often, and it's just making people really mad is what it's doing, and so then people are taking matters into their own hands and just getting rid of the lions. So nobody's winning. It's especially not the lions. The lions are especially not winning. Yeah. The lions are just being one, they're being disrespected in the fact that we let these people that aren't even from this place make this rule that you can't hunt lions anymore, but they're off limits, and so that's not even using. It's not even continuing on with this relationship that we're supposed to have with lions, where we did, hunt them and stuff like that. It's basically saying that the way that it was made was no good. Like that the I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting off on like sort of like some like kind of spiritual or whatever, but like it's basically just saying that this system that the creator designed when he put us here, that gave us everything we ever needed to survive here, that is no good. It's basically it's saying that that's no good. So it's disrespecting that, and then secondly, it's just disrespecting the lives of the lions because they're just being treated like trash when they're killed. So. And then, of course, the argument would probably be like, well, then we shouldn't kill any, but that's also not. That's just back to the first part of that. So.
And it's not, and just I'm just amazed because the revenue they lose off of not hunting mountain lions over there for conservation, it has to be ridiculous. The money they're spending to send somebody out to get these lions, and then the revenue they lose by not selling tags and letting people kill the 100 or 500 or the 1,000 lions they kill a year. And how many people, it's a shoot, shovel, shut up situation now.
Well, people do that. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that happens to both the bears and the lions here, So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
and it'll just keep happening.
Yeah, and it will, and it's just like the whole thing with the wolves. That's the same thing that goes on with I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars there is in the reward money for the wolf killings that happen in Oregon, and like nobody's ever going to get paid for those, or but in the end, the ultimate losers are the wolves because they act like there's nothing they can do to get rid of these wolves that are issues, or to get rid of these lions that are issues. To me, it's like if you just got rid of the one that was the problem, or the few of them that are the problem, then probably some ones that are not problems could take their spot, But
yeah,
this is what I think, and then we could all just keep on living our little lives. But I don't know. I'm rambling again. Sorry.
As long as they don't take Fufu the poodle, we're okay. But once they start coming in the neighborhoods, then everybody cares. Just like coyotes. Coyotes are the same thing. There's been a lot of coyotes that, man, they're just walking down the highways, the streets, shopping malls, housing developments. They don't care. And, just like a bear.
I see that here in the rural communities more like, somebody, if there's one that's being a problem, then everybody gets upset about, like they want it gone and stuff like that. But then I see when the same animals come into the actual city, it's always just a bunch of like victim shaming, victim blaming, like it's always like, oh, well, your dog shouldn't have been outside, in your own yard, or
yeah,
oh, you shouldn't have been out in the woods going for a walk, or like it's just bullshit. It's just absolute, just ridiculousness. This like victim blaming mentality. Like you can't even like you're not supposed to like live your. Well, I mean, in these cities, used to be, those animals used to live there, so
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I see. Is just like and if an animal comes in the city and it's moved or killed or something, then anybody that was hurt by it or something is somehow the bad guy. And then really there is no bad guy necessarily, other than maybe the Matt Lion Foundation. But other than those guys, there isn't really a bad guy or a good guy. It's just losers.
They got more money. They got more money to work with than we do. And then, when do they usually cause all the trouble? In the fall, where everybody's hunting. Mm-hmm. They know it's strategic. Absolutely strategic. And just like there was a guy in Payson that was killed by a bear, and it supposedly just came in.
I remember that. Yeah.
And in me, unless maybe something wrong with the bear. I don't. Was
I
did
guarantee
he
there's nothing wrong with it. Black bears are predatory. They're extremely
feeding the
predatory.
bear?
They
Was
don't
he
kill
feeding
people
the
very
bear?
often.
You know. So
But when they do kill you, they're going to eat you.
yeah,
That's what black bears do. So, yeah.
yep. I think that's what all bears do, ain't it? Polar
No,
bears.
not so much. No, it's the black bears though. Pretty much any time if they kill you, their purpose was to eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not they're not like grizzlies where they're just kind of like that aggressive kind of attacking kind of thing, and then
Throw you around and walk off.
they wander off once they've they might stash you, but they don't necessarily generally eat you.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rambling again. I'm just an encyclopedia of useless information.
that's why I bring you on. You can fill the hour quick.
Yeah.
And then people they think it's cute to feed these animals. The coyotes and the bears. And then when the bear starts becoming a nuisance, it's not so cute no more.
No.
So and then they how they get those bears. They call the dog guys in to come find the bear and then get rid of the bear lethally because it's being a nuisance. They move it out. The bear comes back in 3 days. They move it out again. The bear comes back, and then it goes bye-bye. There was in Arizona, and this was kind of a bird whisper, but there was like 80 bear euthanized nuisance bears in Arizona. Instead of maybe having a pursuit season or a hound season or opening a different season up to get rid of some of those bears in certain units, just like they do the over-the-counter elk tags for the golf courses, But as a bear, it's easier to go dig in a trash can than it is to go pick acorns off a tree. So they're going to go dig in the trash cans.
I mean, I like acorns, but there's probably some more tastier trash in your trash can.
Exactly. Especially in the fall when they're trying to fatten up and old Thanksgiving comes around, there's some meringue pie in there, lemon meringue pie. They are going to dig in those trash cans.
Yeah.
We've had people killed up here in North Arizona taking their trash out. A few years ago it happened. And I don't think they realize they're just animals looking for something to eat. And you look tasty as the trash can sometimes. So, well, dang, Elizabeth, it's already been an hour.
Has it been?
Yep.
Huh. I feel like I haven't really said a whole lot, but like my face is really red like it is when I'm normally doing public speaking, even though I can't see anybody on here.
It just looks like that. Mine always looks red too on TV. So it don't look red over here. No, he's full of information. That's why I love talking to you. So
what were we supposed to talk about? Problems only being a hound person?
Yeah, he struggles, society, social media.
Relationships are a struggle.
What's that?
I said relationships are a struggle.
They make and break them, that's for sure. But I think they break them more than they make them.
Yeah.
So, yep. I think men are just jealous of you because they can't keep up with you. Is what it is. Can't keep up with you. Your dogs are better than theirs. There goes Tree Dog. Look at that Tree Dog Nation guy. He says this word wrong. He calls it acorns.
Acorns, yeah, acorns.
Yeah.
That's from
back east.
Bear Grease podcast.
Yep.
I'm not on his name right now. Acorns.
Yep. Oh, Clay Newcomb.
Yeah, Clay Newcomb.
So.
Homsey.
But.
Well,
I appreciate you taking the time to come on.
Yeah.
Got anything?
Yeah, we'll have to talk about problems of being a hound person some other time, I guess.
Well, most of it was society, other houndsmen or other hunters. The cost of feed, fuel. Man, it used to cost me, I don't know, $15-$20 a day to go out and hunt. Now it's $50-$60 a day.
That's a lot.
Local.
Yeah, I had to fill up 3/4 of a tank of gas yesterday, and it was $85.
Yeah. So.
And then the dog food has gone up astronomically.
Oh yeah, I mean even your cheap dog food's $30 now.
Yeah, I can't afford to feed Victor anymore, which is unfortunate because I like Victor, but I can't feed it anymore because it's like,
what is it up to? Like 60,
$70 a
70?
bag. It's like $70 for a bag now, or something ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, once fuel and oil goes up, so does everything else.
Yeah, everything does.
So
yeah, everything's more expensive, that's for sure.
You got anything to add to your useless encyclopedia?
Add to, I don't know. Do you have any trivia questions?
I wouldn't know the answer to them, so I can't ask them because I don't know if it's right or not. Well, I do appreciate you taking your time coming on for sure. So
yeah,
you're about to bail out, go do some hunting. So
yeah, I need to finish packing up my stuff so I can leave. Get out of here.
But we'll get you on again.
Man.
We'll get you on again for something else and talk totally about everything other else.
Yeah, totally about not that. That's usually how my conversations go.
Oh yeah. All righty, Elizabeth. I appreciate you coming on.
Okay.
We're probably going to call it an end and let everybody go back to watching something that's probably more interesting than me.
Far more interesting.
Yeah, some useful information, not just the useless encyclopedia of Elizabeth. But I do appreciate you coming on, and I'll get you back on. Maybe we'll talk about your Nevada hunt or Nevada hunt, whatever you guys call it. Always call it Nevada. I don't know. So, but I do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. All right.
And I will get hold of you another time, and we'll get you back on.
Okay. All right.
All righty. Thanks, Elizabeth.
All right.
It was hard to get her on, to be honest. She didn't want to come on, but I kind of made her come on. I said she had to come on. So we were talking about the struggles of being a houndsman or a woman, but it all just boils down to everybody else and people minding their own business and social media and all the fun stuff that comes with being a hunter. And back in the old days, being a hunter wasn't so publicized. So I think we got away with a lot more than we do today. But anyhow, I do appreciate you guys coming on. Kind of a slow night. My internet didn't act up. I don't think it didn't act up on my side. I don't know about if it acted up on your guys' side. But Elizabeth had a little bit of problem, but she was just on her cell phone. And she kind of lives out in the middle of nowhere. So, but appreciate you guys watching. I'll be on next week. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. I don't know who I'm going to have on, but we will get somebody on. If you guys want to come on, anybody wants to come on, send me an email right to there. If you send me an email to anecdoteofahoundsman@outlook.com, and we'll probably get you on and talk about whatever you want to talk about. So whether it's hounds, mules, or everything in between. So I hope everybody has a good night, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.